What's up Twitch, this is Supreme King 1177 here, and today we are back at it again with another stream of Hogwarts Legacy today. Now, before we start the stream, I'm going to tell you what's happened this week. Pretty much, it's more for, well, why I wasn't streaming on Wednesday to us. Well, you knew why I wasn't streaming on Tuesday, because I was doing overtime at work. Tuesday night I went out for a few drinks with some colleagues and a bit too much, and let's just say Wednesday happened and I was absolutely gone for most of the day, so I wasn't able to stream. So I thought I'd do it on Thursday. But Thursday I was still feeling rough, but the problem is I also had to go to work, and I also had to go to my parents' house, so sadly I couldn't stream then. So today I got no excuse. We're streaming Hogwarts Legacy today. I hope you enjoy. If you haven't followed me yet, make sure you do if you're interested. So, let's continue this. Now, what happened last time? We were going through quite a few quests. Into the Dale family too. Whereabouts is that? Place. We'll go here. Why not?
I need to find the tomb near Brockborough and place Samantha's family crest on a sarcophagus there.
It's also interesting that it's winter now as well. So.
Mysterious and a bit unsettling.
Actually, which one are these?
Do.
Did I try to go in here before or something? I cannot remember.
Well, my feet didn't turn into beads. That's a good start.
Yeah, we were pretty much going.
Revelio. Should have known a herbologist. Snare. Lumos.
Coins. Shit.
A troll? You can't be serious. Cruising. Confringo. Protego. Confringo. Confringo. Crucio. Potato. Confringo. Places. Should think they felt that in London.
Revelio.
Oh, it is.
Well, Marmaduke certainly left behind more than plants.
Revelio.
A lot of coins.
Revelio. Confringo.
Don't know.
Revelio. Revelio.
There's nothing up here. Or not.
My mother would like to speak with me. I believe she has learned about some of what we...
Revelio.
I'm hoping she may be easier on me if you are there.
Can we meet at the Three Brooms?
Confringo.
Finally safe since we rescued the dragon from Horndale Hall.
Revelio.
What's this way?
Revelio.
Okay. It just looks
Lumos.
familiar. It's not the same. Okay, now. Or not. So much for my logic.
A sarcophagus. This must be Marmaduke. That should reverse the curse. Hopefully.
Revelio.
Let's hope. Actually, what do we hope? I've nothing to do with her anyway.
Samantha will be glad to hear that the crest has been returned. I certainly hope it reverses the curse.
Bloody should, but... Yeah, we were... How we got this quest anyways, because... What's the word? Not abuse. Okay. We go to there afterwards. As it's close, we could just walk there. Or we just might be just lazy and just fast travel, to be honest. We might fucking well do that.
I'm happy to tell you that I returned the crest to Marmaduke's sarcophagus just as you asked.
I thought as much. I received word from St. Mungo's that my brother's feet are back to normal. No more beats. Oh, I cannot thank you enough. It wasn't too much trouble, I hope.
Well, there was a troll in the tomb.
A troll? Oh dear, I'm so sorry. That's awful. No one has been in that tomb for centuries. But I can't say I'm surprised. Marmaduke seems to have been full of surprises.
Indeed he was.
Well, I suppose I should be going. I'm anxious to see my brother, who must be elated to have his feet back.
Of course. I certainly would be.
William and I are forever in your debt. Thank you again for what you did.
More side quest as well at some point. That'd be interesting. What else we got here? Nope. Nope. Oh yeah, there's this one here. Oh yeah. Do this quest as well, why not? Where we could get the next upgrade. We'll do this first.
Going for a swim?
Goodness, no. Though I'm beginning to think I really should learn how to swim. Can't very well be liaison to the mer people if I don't know how to swim.
You're a liaison to the mer people.
Well, not technically, no. At least not yet. The position doesn't actually exist at the moment, but I have a plan to change that. I'm Nerida, by the way. Nerida Roberts. We didn't officially meet, but we duelled in the Crossed Swans Club.
Yes, of course. Good to see you again.
And you.
You seem quite interested in mer people.
I am. And they're as misunderstood and disregarded by wizard kind as goblins and centaurs are. I feel that if goblins and centaurs have liaison officers at the ministry, then the mer people should have one too.
True.
I'm impressed. I think reaching out to the mer people is a grand idea.
You do? Oh, thank you. Of course I haven't exactly done anything just yet. I presented them with a gift a few weeks ago, and they wanted to leave me one as well, in one of their caves. Reciprocity and an offer to visit. I tried telling them I couldn't swim, but I'm afraid that bit got lost in translation. Mermish really is tricky.
Well, I can swim and could help you if you'd like.
You'd really do that? Oh, thank you! Thank you, thank you! The last thing I want is for them to think I'd shunned their gift. Diplomacy is a delicate dance. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can dive down to their cave from just there in the water. I can't wait to hear about what you find. One day soon, I'll see for myself. I just know it.
This could be a trap.
Look at this place. Did the mer people really leave Nerida an artifact? Lumos.
Confringo!
Now then, I'll need you to come with me. Now for the rest of you.
Confringo!
Lumos.
Ringo and Lumos. hope we can actually see some of the people. This would be...
What do we have in here then? Narada will be happy about this.
Oh, I wish we could actually see some people, but I guess not.
Your gift from the mer people was exactly where they said it would be.
Oh, that's wonderful news. I was so worried I'd left it too long and they'd seen it as a slight. Our relationship with them is already so tenuous.
I can't keep the gift.
And I'm glad we helped to
That's
foster
very
some
harsh.
healthy diplomatic relations.
Merlin's beard. It's marvellous. I'm going to show it to everyone, including the Ministry. Should I hand deliver it or send by owl? Thank you again. So much. You may have just helped improve relations between wizard kind and mer people for decades to come. I can't wait to study this.
That was my plan, to get all that done. What's this one? Complete the field page from the book in the library. Okay, let's do that first, actually. Maybe we could get transformation. Or transfiguration. Oh no, it's called transformation. Surely it should be called transfiguration, but sure.
That book Professor Weasley asked me to find should be around here somewhere.
Looking for the book Intermediate Transfiguration. You're my second favourite hero!
Professor Weasley asked me to, get something from that book. May I have it?
Did she now? I'll give you this book if you humour me by answering a few questions from my quiz.
Quiz?
Some people call bits of knowledge trivia. I would argue that no knowledge is trivial. Hence, I have created a small quiz, just for fun, focusing mainly on the lore of the wizarding world. None of the other students will try it, no matter how many times I ask. They all say they have enough with schoolwork. Ugh, they don't value knowledge the way I do. Surely you're interested. I'll even start you off with a few of my easiest questions.
Sure, why not?
A quiz sounds like fun.
Splendid! Just a few questions, and then I'll hand over this book. Let us begin. Before the invention of the golden snitch, which magical creature was used in a game of Quidditch?
I don't bloody know. The golden snuggery, the golden snidget. Snidget?
The Golden Snidget.
Correct! The Snidget was first introduced to Quidditch in 1269 by a wizard named Barbarous Bragg. Sadly, they're thought to be extinct. Next question. Which potion is commonly referred to as liquid luck?
Ooh. Felix.
Felix Felicis.
Well done!
Yep, I
Since
remember
it
that.
makes the drinker temporarily lucky, Felix Felicis is a banned substance in all organised competitions. The tale of the three brothers involves which magical artifacts?
I don't know. The Deathly Hallows.
The Deathly Hallows.
Correct. According to Beedle the Bard, the Deathly Hallows consist of the Elder Wand, the Resurrection Stone, and the Cloak of Invisibility. Which ball in Quidditch is the largest?
Quaffle.
The Quaffle.
That's right. When a chaser throws the quaffle through one of 3 hoops in a Quidditch match, their team is awarded 10 points. True or false? Polyjuice Potion allows the drinker to change species.
True.
Actually, the answer was false. While Polyjuice Potion can be used to change things such as age or race, it cannot be used to change species. Well, I suppose this has gone on long enough. I'll put the book back on the pedestal now. If you're inclined to test your knowledge again, I have plenty more questions I could ask you. And I won't be giving you any more easy questions either. The next ones will be more difficult.
I'm sorry. I don't have time for a quiz at the moment.
Let me know if you change your mind. I put the book back on the pedestal for you.
Revelio ought to make quick work of this.
Revelio.
Professor Weasley's tasks are complete. I should attend Transfiguration.
Let's go to Transfiguration then. Does that mean Professor Weasley does Transfiguration then?
How nice to see you, my young friend.
I heard Professor Weasley transfigured the book with all her test answers into an owl to stop students from cheating.
Settle down, settle down. Transfiguration, as you may be weary of hearing me say, is an exact science that can take a lifetime to master. But we needn't be daunted. Almost anything can be transformed if you can just perceive the potential within it. As I see in all of you, tremendous witches and wizards, every one of you. Or it could just be my eyesight. Now, you all know what to do. Beautifully done.
You wanted to discuss my progress so far this term, Professor?
I did. You seem to have had no trouble in getting up to speed, and frankly, excelling in your schoolwork this year.
Thank you, Professor. The extra assignments have been helpful.
As I suspected they would be. Now, it seems you've been making excellent use of the opportunities presented by your field guide. Of course, the guide isn't the only measure of success. I've heard that you can brew an impressive Edurus potion. Hopefully, you won't need it anytime soon, but it is a valuable potion to have when it is needed.
Thank you, Professor.
I will say I'm especially impressed with all you've accomplished in light of the rumors of your extracurricular activities. Were your meetings with Professor Black's house elf and exploration of various caves down by the lake connected in any way to Professor Fig?
No.
Not at all. I was, intrigued by stories of a giant squid and wanted to learn more. I encountered Scrope, who seemed delighted to share what he knew.
I see. I admire your penchant for learning, but do remember that your classwork and field guide are designed to educate you thoroughly. It'll be the end of the year in no time, and you'll want to be well prepared for your OWLs. I'll provide a final assessment at that time to ensure that you're ready for your exams. Until then, well done. You are dismissed.
Right, now I'm lying to my bloody professor, but I got no choice. Right. We got one more quest. You can usually tell what's a quest because the flag will be black instead of white. So we'll go here.
Since our visit to Feldcroft, something dawned on me about the triptych. Meet me at the Overlook, just north of the Forbidden Forest, and I'll explain.
Uh-oh.
My plan would...
You wanted to speak with me, Mother?
I had hoped to speak with you alone, Natsai.
Your message mentioned your concern about an unusual creature that was spotted in the woods near Hogsmeade. That could have been anything.
You know what it was, Natsai.
I am allowed to leave the castle. I am always careful, Mother.
Careful? Officer Singer disagrees. She sent me an owl telling me that you have been trying to collect evidence of some kind against dark wizards. She berated me for not keeping a closer eye on you. And she is right. I do not want you visiting Hogsmeade for the near future.
But Mother!
My little gazelle, you are well-intentioned, but you must not meddle in the affairs of dangerous people.
If someone had meddled in Matabeleland, Father would still be with us.
I must get to class. Perhaps your friend can get you to listen to reason.
So frustrating. She never listens to me.
She called you her little gazelle. Is that a term of endearment where you're from?
It is specific to me. I am the unusual creature in Hogsmeade she mentioned. Self-transfiguration is not taught at Hogwarts, so I am gently discouraged from practicing it. However, I am an animagus, and it is in my gazelle form that I have been able to wander the Highlands rather freely until now, much to my mother's chagrin. That is how I managed to spy on Rookwood and Harlow.
Were you born an animagus, or did you learn to become one?
Animagi are not born. The process is quite elaborate. It involves holding a mandrake leaf in one's mouth for an entire month, then placing the leaf in a crystal phial so that it is imbued with moonlight, then adding one of your own hairs. And that is just the beginning. Self-transfiguration is common among students at Wagadu, but Professor Weasley considers it much too dangerous to teach at Hogwarts.
Can you choose what form your animagus will take?
Oh no, a person's animagus form is determined by their personality. My mother is convinced that my form is a gazelle because I adapt well to any situation. I believe it is because I can sense danger and keep my wits about me.
How does it feel to transform into an animal?
Well, the first time it can be a bit unnerving. I felt a kind of searing pain and a strong double heartbeat. But it gets easier the more you do it. I no longer feel any pain, and I must say, I find a sense of comfort in the double heartbeat. And I love being able to view the world from a different perspective.
Now the nickname makes sense. What an extraordinary ability to have.
It is. I love transforming, but Mother is less enthusiastic about it. She says that no creature, especially one as rare as a gazelle, should be bounding about where poaching has become so prevalent. She claims that she has foreseen tragedy befall me in my gazelle form. But she has used her sight to control me too many times. I no longer believe it.
She's concerned for your safety. It may be best for you to stay away from Hogsmeade for now.
That may be safe, but I do not believe that it would be best. Do you? You could have fled the moment you discovered that Rookwood, Harlow, and Ranrock were after you, but you did not. I choose to act as you have. I must deal with Rookwood and Harlow, not hide from them. My mother cannot know where I am all the time. Thank you for being here during that rather awkward conversation.
problem. Alright, so what else have we got? Quest. A dragon debrief. Ooh, maybe we should meet with Poppy. I do want to learn Bombarder because it's going to be a great time. Well, we'll go over here anyway. Of course it's on. Bam. We got a couple of loads of quests. Okay, we'll go here first though. Should I do these other quests from Hogsmeade? Don't know, maybe next time. Oh, lock level 3 games.
I'm just trying to practice.
Over here.
This is a change of pace from our last outing.
Don't remind me. The thought of that tent still makes my blood boil. I've been thinking about those poor dragons in the fighting ring. The collars they were wearing, they appeared to be goblin silver. I think a collar is precisely what we found at that poacher camp. I've never known poachers to use anything like that before.
The dragon that attacked my carriage was wearing a collar, and Professor Fig was genuinely baffled by its behavior.
That attack always did strike me as a little strange, seemingly coming out of nowhere. Surely you aren't suggesting that the collars somehow control the poor creatures?
Exactly.
Merlin, I don't think the dragon we set free was wearing a collar, but we should check. And if we can find her, we can return her egg.
That's a good idea. We need to see this through.
I'll start looking into it right away. There was something else that I wanted to discuss with you. I didn't want to press it before. It seems I may have caused you more trouble with Victor Rookwood. Why is he after you?
Rookwood is working with Ranrock, and Ranrock is after something I found at Gringotts. Fig had a portkey that led us there after the dragon attack. It's a bit of a long story, and Fig had asked that I not speak of it yet.
Goodness. Well, that certainly helps to shed light on what we saw at the tent. Don't worry, I'll guard your secret as if it were my own. I shan't press for more details. In fact, I should probably be going. I'd like to track that dragon down as soon as I can. I'll let you know when I have news of her location.
Oh, I do hope Mary and her neighbour...
Excuse me, sir. Are you all right?
Just barely. But I don't want to trouble a student with my woes.
I am indeed a student, but I could very well be able to help you.
I'm not so sure. Name's Crispin Dunn, by the way. I trade in the surrounding hamlets. Do the most business in Arranshire. A lovely little hamlet. Just stunning gardens. Just the other day, the Daily Prophet ran an article on its scenic hedgerows. Actually, before I go on, I should ask, are you afraid of spiders?
Spiders don't bother me at all. You'd be impressed by how many I've dispatched lately.
Lucky you. The hamlet's overrun with the vile things, and they're acting abnormally aggressively. I'm concerned about my customers, of course, but it appears that most of the hamlet's residents fled to safety. It's my friend Mary I worry about. I haven't heard from her, and I fear she's trapped in her cottage.
Understandable, but why don't you check on her yourself?
I would, but I have a crippling fear of the eight-legged beasts, which I, unlike you, seem incapable of conquering. I don't know what to do. Can you think of anyone who can help Mary?
I'll try my very best, Mr. Dunn.
Please do. If you can think of anyone that may be brave enough to help, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. They'll find Arrynshire southeast of Hogsmeade, just below the train station.
Revelio.
Mr. Dunn, about the spider problem in Arrynshire.
Those infernal beasts. I was hoping someone could check on her for me.
Mr. Dunn, about the spider problem in Arrynshire.
Those infernal beasts overran the town and turned it into a palace of webs. I'm frantic with worry over my friend Mary. I was hoping someone could check on her for me.
Wait, last time we were here, it wasn't covered in webs, was it?
This must be Arrynshire. I'd best keep an eye out for spiders.
Revelio. Confringo. Protego.
Crucible.
Confringo.
They're even more aggressive than I'd expected.
Protego. Glacius.
Crucible.
Confringo.
Combo.
Confringo. Protego.
Surely that's the last of them.
Revelio.
Oh no, this must be Mary. Poor woman.
Good spider venom is wasted from when it's now due. But you close the spiderlings in my cellar workshop have almost hatched. I can find more venom soon.
If Mary was breeding these things in her cellar, that means there are more underground. I'll need to destroy every last spider in that cellar if this is to end.
Confringo. Revelio.
It was her fault. She got what I got then.
If this is where Mary bred the spiders, they're not here now.
Revelio.
Well, this isn't a good sign. These spiders have gone somewhere. A ladder. Not sure I want to know where this leads. I'd best be ready.
If there's any chance that the relic from Slytherin's spellbook can help her, I must find it. I'm requesting your help. Meet me outside of Feldcroft, near the catacomb.
That's one egg sac destroyed. I should get the rest.
Glacius.
These eggs must be destroyed.
Confringo!
I need to get some more fire.
Incendio! Protego! Confringo! Confringo! Revelio!
I hate to think that they see me, but I don't see them.
Revelio! Confringo! Incendio! Revelio! Confringo! Incendio!
Crucio.
Incendio!
I have some promising news about the location of our Hebridean dragon friend and where to return her you-know-what. Meet me in the town circle in Hogsmeade.
So many quests done.
Confringo!
Half finished, but I need to destroy all of the Exacs.
Incendio!
Crucio.
Confringo! Incendio! Confringo! Revelio! Confringo!
This is definitely going to anger your parents. I suppose I know what happened to Mary Portman now. She was breeding the spiders.
Well, she died, and she deserves it then.
Oh. Oh.
Why did you think it was a good idea to stop breeding spiders? I know she looks like she was going for venom, but why?
Confringo! Revelio! Confringo!
Can't let you harm Arrynshire any more than you already have.
Incent... Confringo! Incendio!
Cursed fiends.
Confringo! Incendio!
Crucio.
Confringo!
That's the last of the spider sacks.
And the source of the eggs. Ah, boss time.
I hope that's the last spider.
Incendio!
Time.
Crucio.
Incendio. Confringo.
Ah, shit. No good, no good, not good.
Incendio. Confringo. Incendio. Revelio.
Oh, but that was the source of the eggs. Give it.
Oh, wait. That's the last one. She's angry.
Wonder why? Oh yeah, kids. Change.
Incendio.
The band.
Confringo.
I'll be having nightmares for the rest of my life after that. Crucible.
Protego. Confringo. Incendio. Confringo.
Ugh. Shame you're so foul.
Revelio.
That was an interesting side quest. So we know that Mary deserved to die. The bitch. No, I can't fast travel out of here, sadly. Actually, how well are we doing on our challenges? Second quests, that's done. So how many? I need to do 32. Okay, and this one I need to do 9 more. This one I need to do 1 more. Obviously, the 1 more assignment is when I get bombarded. Combat, what we got here? Defeats, fair enough. We need 32 more of them. We're doing really well because we've done 54% of overall progress of this, so. And requirement. This is breed 10 unique beasts, so. That's interesting. Rescue beasts, so I just need to rescue 6 more beasts and get to the next upgrade. Upgrade your gear, which I haven't done much of yet. And exploration, what have we got here? Complete Merlin trials, which I should need to do, to be honest, but meh. Solve 1 Hogwarts secret. Lock challenge. I haven't got this done yet. Well, it's worse. I know where 1 Traces is. Pop 10 sets balloons, yeah. Build guide pages. Pretty much in the Highlands and obviously Hogsmeade. Other than that, we're pretty good, to be honest. what we need to do is burn this whole place to the bloody ground. I think there's the flood in a way. You want to destroy the flood. Make sure there's no biomass left for the flood to feast on. But nope. No matter. Not sure. Should I complete the rest of these challenges in Hogsmeade first? I should.
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
Blah blah blah.
Mr. Dunn, I have some news.
Thank Merlin. About my sweet friend Mary.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Dunn. She was an innocent victim.
Poor Mary. Fighting for the Hamlet to the bitter end, no doubt. A noble sacrifice. She truly was a remarkable woman. Remarkable. She didn't deserve this. Few do.
I am sorry about your friend. But you'll be relieved to know that I cleared out the spiders. It's safe to return now.
You? You cleared out the spiders? I can't believe it, but I'm certainly relieved. I imagine the first order of business will be to help the Hamlet rebuild. I suppose I have nothing to fear from dead spiders.
Even so, you'll want to prepare yourself. The place needs something of clean-up.
Thank you again for all you've done. I shall keep you apprised of the Hamlet's rebuilding.
Glad I could be of help, and I look forward to visiting your shop the next time I'm in Arranshire.
To dearly departed Mary.
Should have said. But nope. Alright, we got 3 side quests. Poppy. Right, let's talk to Poppy actually.
Hogsmeade, here I come.
It's not like her to forget.
I didn't keep you waiting, did I?
Not at all. I was just at the post office. Gran told me to expect a package, but it looks as if she forgot to send it. She didn't send me an owl this week either. Perhaps she's busy with her research.
What did you find out about the dragon you were tracking?
I realised that she didn't know the poachers had her egg, so when she left Horntail Hall, she would have headed straight to her nest. I went back to the tent and tracked her flight.
Well done. You certainly know what you're doing.
I can't be certain, but I have an idea of one place she may have been heading. I thought we might go and see it for ourselves.
Of course. Shall we leave now?
If that's all right. I want to see how she's faring if she had a collar on, and she's likely frantic about her egg.
Most mothers will be.
Here we are. I do think this is where we'll find her. The terrain's typical of where the breed would nest. I suspect it's how the poachers found her to begin with. They likely camped here and logged her patterns. Perhaps nabbed her first and then her egg. Dragons are hard enough to wrangle, let alone maternal ones.
You got all of that from simply standing here?
You'd be surprised how easy it is to think like a poacher. Shall we see if she's home? We only need to return her egg.
That sounds straightforward enough.
We should be in and out. Then we can be finished with the poachers once and for all.
Well then, let's find our dragon and return her egg.
Wonderful. If she sees us flying about, she might take it as a sign of aggression or food. We should stay on foot. Oh, and one more thing. Let's not agitate her.
Actually, whereabouts are we on the map? Oh, great.
Goodness knows she's been through enough already. I'm ready when you are.
Let's go.
There she is, above us. She did make it home safely. Oh, good. It looks as if she wasn't collared like the other dragons. Poor thing must be worried sick, wondering what happened to her egg.
For what it's worth, she doesn't seem to have spotted us yet.
Let's hope it stays that way. At least until we've done what we came to do.
Cruising.
Confringo. Revelio. Accio.
There she is again.
She's breathtaking.
From a distance.
What do I need? Flipendo.
Depulso.
Oh, more.
Levioso.
What am I doing? It's fucking rebuilding shit.
Reparo.
Fantastic.
We cloak.
I wonder how good her eyesight is.
I beg your pardon?
I don't imagine the poachers fed her well. And from a distance, we probably look exactly like sheep to her. Hebrideans love sheep.
How lucky for us. Watch your step. Or just raring for a fight.
Well, there's no turning back now. Remember, over here!
Wait here. I'll run ahead.
Whenever you're ready, I'll follow your lead.
I'll draw her attention. Follow when it's safe.
What up? Why just run for it?
Watch out! It's her domain. She'll make... Keep at it. We've just got to make it to the nest.
She isn't making it easy.
warm welcome.
It's a little too warm, if you ask me. I don't suppose she listened to reason.
I'd normally try, but we're well past that. If we can get to that entrance, we can get to the nest. She's leaving! Quickly!
Brilliant.
There's the nest. We're almost there. Why is every bridge here broken?
Reparo.
Now, if we just return her egg, we can hopefully make it out without too much fuss.
Yum!
That was brilliant! And did you see how clever? She left us perfectly unharmed.
Creatures are a lot cleverer than most people realize.
That's what Gran always says. The important thing is that we survived it, and we returned her egg. Thank you for doing this with me. Wouldn't blame you one bit if you wanted to head back to the castle and never think about dragons again.
Shall we head back? I'm ready if you are.
I am. After our dragon rescue at Horntail Hall, I half expect to be ambushed by poachers any time I'm not in the castle.
Understandable. We did sabotage their fighting ring and steal a dragon egg from them.
True. So why haven't they come after us? It's not like them to let things lie. Unless
what?
Unless they haven't let things lie. Oh no, I can't believe I didn't see it. We need to leave. I need to send an owl.
Yeah, we guess it's because of her gran.
How could I have been so blind?
Right, what quest should we do now? We'll go here. We'll do Sebastian's quest, because I think it's the more interesting out of everything, to be honest. Mostly because what's happened with his sister, such a sad story.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented blue power.
Was way after dark.
I thought
Sus.
my owl might pique your interest.
I came as soon as I could.
I'd been so distracted by the scriptorium and Slytherin's book that I'd almost forgotten what it was that had struck me about that triptych. This is the view painted on the canvas that was left on it.
That's incredible. You know this area well.
And while I was waiting for you, I scouted around and discovered an abandoned mine nearby, surrounded by Ranrock's loyalists.
Do you think there's a connection to the triptych?
I've no idea, but perhaps they're searching it, the way they did Rookwood Castle and Isidora's Manor. How do we want to handle this?
We need to see what they're doing, but let's not draw their attention.
Very well.
And I still have that rune symbol we found on the triptych. If there is a connection, I suspect we'll see that symbol again.
After you.
Moonstones.
There they are up ahead.
I'll let you lead.
We're close to a breakthrough.
No one enters this mine. Kill anyone who tries.
Ranrock's loyalists.
Revelio.
Blood.
Petrificus totalis. Petrificus totalis. Revelio.
This is going well.
We make a good team.
We do at that.
Once again, we could fight our way through or be discreet.
You know which one I'd choose.
I didn't touch your helm, but thank you for making me the first object of your suspicions. Know who my friends are now, don't I?
Petrificus totalis.
What was that?
What was... Enjoy!
Hello?
Oh, that's fucking good. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Confringo!
I will have my revenge! Spinning blade!
Hit it all! Does Hogwarts teach you nothing about dueling?
Protego. Capulso.
Incendio.
You won't get away with that.
Very stupid. I don't have stupid fly.
I'll cut you from shoes to chapeau.
Protego. Confringo. Confringo. Depulso. Incendio.
And the fun is over.
Fun is a relative term.
It is. And that was relatively fun.
Revelio. Revelio.
Ah, shit. Yay, my gear is full again. Right, destroy. Get rid of anything which is green quality, let's say. I know we could probably sell it, but
I should tell you. Rumor is this mine was closed long ago due to an infestation of spiders.
Revelio.
How nice. Nothing I haven't seen before.
That's the spirit.
we live for killing spiders. We're fine. What's here?
We're making quick progress.
Oh, just another way.
For better or for worse. We're in.
Oh, could do with a nice mushroom stew about now.
Petrificus totalis.
Or
This mine looks like a tomb.
it was
Revelio.
closed after accidents were reported. Now I see why.
I don't see any goblins in these webs.
Too disgusting for even a spider to prey on.
Bit hard.
Incendio.
Up for a bit of dying,
Damn
are we?
it, I pressed the wrong
You
fucking
are
button.
terribly unmatched.
Potato.
Showing off, are we?
Fuck's sake. I pressed the wrong fucking button.
I won't rest.
Someone thinks they can outlast me! Who do you think you are?
Incendio.
I don't know myself.
You are
Confringo.
There you are.
Incendio.
Rather unwise coming back this way. Let's get this over with.
Confringo.
Oh, you think you are?
How many Ranrock's loyalists are in here?
Revelio.
Too many. They definitely think there's something here they want.
That ledge is awfully high. Any ideas?
I know one thing.
Confringo.
Go this way first.
Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio.
It's no wonder spiders give people goosebumps.
Could be the hairy legs, or the soulless eyes,
Revelio.
or the venomous fangs, or any number of endearing qualities, really.
He's got such a way with words. Please tell me more.
Smashing.
Should have thought to conjure stairs.
Reparo.
That must be the most awkward spell to learn.
Confringo. Petrificus totalis.
We've rid the world of another spider. I shall sleep better tonight.
Revelio.
Looks like bloody goblins did try to get in.
We're making quick work of them.
Professor Hecat would be proud.
She would at that. Ranrock's loyalists have all but declared war.
Silent as a grave.
Lumos.
Lumos!
Chest. Before we do anything, is our gear full? Actually, just to be safe, we will get rid of something anyway. Just to be safe.
Lumos.
Lumos.
Hang on, my TV wants to shut off for some reason.
Confringo.
Leviosa!
We've still not seen a single room.
I think we're going to be a bit distracted from runes for a moment.
An unwelcome distraction at that.
We have another fight on our hands.
Why am I not surprised?
How long for a bacon and mushroom stew? Over here!
Confringo.
You almost had a lucky shot!
Incendio.
You're making this too easy. There you are. Rather unwise coming
Incendio.
back this way. Let's get this over with. Let me go! At once!
Confringo!
Confringo.
Stop avoiding me! I won't rest till you're dead.
Incendio.
If only Ranrock were here to... No!
We're not finished yet.
It's almost as if they were waiting. Confringo! Confringo!
Confringo. Incendio.
I'll get you for that! Put me on the ground now!
Confringo. Incendio. Crucible. Confringo.
We certainly cleared the room.
I don't know why Gryffindors get credit for bravery. We Slytherins are teeming with it.
And we're much more fun to fight with.
True, because we use dark magic, which is
Revelio.
badass.
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
We can have a look around in peace.
Accio.
How long? Probably not a lot.
Revelio. Confringo.
Confringo!
Wasn't expecting that. What do you have
Revelio.
there?
A journal entry by Isadora.
Hopefully it will help us unravel more of this mystery.
Sebastian, I think I found something. A canvas piece.
Brilliant. Our efforts weren't in vain after all. Still, something about this place feels odd.
If the triptych led us here to find this bit of canvas, we can probably assume that Isadora Morganach was here.
She seems to have been everywhere.
But if she was using the Undercroft, and the cellar beneath her manor in Feldcroft, why would she create this space?
And why hide it behind cryptic rune symbols? And ancient magic that no one but you could see?
Isadora and Percival Rackham, another of the Keepers, could see traces of ancient magic too.
Rackham? I haven't heard his name before.
His are some of the memories I've seen. I don't think he and Isadora saw eye to eye on how this magic should be used.
This is all rather baffling. Let's take the canvas back to the triptych. Perhaps the answers are there. This place is odd, to be sure.
Revelio!
I'm fascinated by it. Now, for the trek back out of here and to Hogwarts.
Unless we can find another passageway to the Undercroft. Let's have a look around.
And now for the moments of truth.
It has to fit. Please tell me you recognize the location in this bit of canvas.
The good news is I do, in fact.
And the bad news?
We're in for more trouble. I know that coast. Ranrock has taken over a huge mine in the surrounding area. Marenweem has suffered for it. It's as bad as Feldcroft's become. Should we head there now?
We should wait.
Why?
All this time, we've been a step behind Ranrock. I may know someone who could help us get ahead.
Who is that?
A friendly goblin. He wants no part in Ranrock's fight.
A friendly goblin? You know, goblins cursed my sister to shut her up. Said she should be seen and not heard.
I do, but not all goblins are...
Not all goblins what? Have you forgotten Feldcroft? Have you forgotten the mine we just went through?
No, Sebastian, I haven't. You're not listening to me.
Why would I listen to someone so ignorant?
Perhaps your uncle was right about you. You don't know when to stop.
Oh, I do know when to stop. Unbelievable.
In his bad books now, apparently. I should talk to Boy to find out where she lives. Talk to Poppy actually, because this is going to be interesting.
Oh, good, you're safe.
There you are. You were in such a state when you left.
The poachers got to my gran. Someone recognized me in Horntail Hall and they got to her.
What do you mean? Is she all right?
She's fine, thank goodness. But they were at her house, our house. They assumed I'd sent the egg there. She said they took the whole place apart looking for it, screaming that we'd cost them everything.
I'm sorry, Poppy. I'm glad she's all right. I don't think either one of us could have anticipated that.
I should have known. I underestimated the poachers. And now another creature's in danger.
What do you mean?
The poachers refused to leave empty-handed, so they took valuable journals that Gran had discovered when she was researching rare creatures. One of them contained theories about a secret hiding place of the Snidget, long thought to be extinct.
I take it you aren't going to let the poachers anywhere near the Snidgets.
Gran wants me to stay out of it, but I know she's devastated that poachers might go after the Snidgets, if they still exist. We had the element of surprise on our side when we saved that dragon, but the poachers will be watching for us now.
We need allies. Others who hate the poachers enough to help us, who value creatures as much
Merlin's beard! You're a genius! The centaurs! They'd want the Snidgets protected at all costs.
Sounds as if we need to go and talk to the centaurs.
We'll need to be careful in how we approach them. Tensions with them are high. Still, I think they may be our only hope. Let me think on it. I'll let you know as soon as I have a plan.
Yeah, I knew it'd be something to do with her, Gran. There isn't Hogwarts apparently. Odd. This is shit. Nope. There's the room requirement, that's why.
Black is without a doubt the worst head.
Oh, how fun and fun! You must try it!
Hello there.
Hello, Amit. Do I recall you saying that you speak gobbledygook?
I did. I do. Speak it. Is this to do with the goblin I saw you with in Hogsmeade?
It is. His name is Lodgok. We could use your help with something. He's waiting for me near a goblin mine. Would you be willing to help?
Of course. How exciting. Well, might this be dangerous?
I think he simply wants to show me something that involves gobbledygook. If it helps, he's a friend of Sirona's.
Good to hear. Good to hear. If Sirona trusts him, then I feel much better.
Lodgok is waiting. Shall we go?
Of course. I just want to check the pronunciation of a couple of key terms first. So I will meet you there.
Fair enough. Okay, it's not too far from our current location. So go here and we're gonna go by boom. So I actually want to do first. I might want to go here for the astronomy. Because if we can get this done, we get another chapter done for our challenges. This is where we were before, wondering if we needed to put something on top of it. This is before we knew we needed a telescope.
This place has seen better days.
I guess we need to wait till dark, which is fair enough, so we'll wait around.
Knowing Amit, he's likely studied here.
Wait till the stars are out. Maybe. Ah, I need one more shit. That didn't go well. Oh well, we done that one anyway. Sebastian at the catacombs.
Could it be a Merlin trial? Revelio.
Depends. What is? No, I need Bombarda for that.
A friend who speaks gobbledygook is meeting us. Before he arrives, perhaps you could tell me why we're here?
Of course. Unfortunately, presenting Ranrock with the Helmet of Urtkot did not have the effect I'd hoped. Because he knew the details surrounding its plunder, he presumed I'd had help from a witch or wizard in retrieving it.
How else did he expect Goblinkind to get the helmet back? Seems he has no interest in making amends with you.
I'm afraid we do not have the luxury of rational expectation when it comes to Ranrock. Damn Bragbor and his blasted journals.
Bragbor?
An ancestor of Ranrock's, renowned metalworker. If we are to work together, I suppose I must tell you more. Not long ago, Ranrock sent me to collect a recently unearthed set of Bragbor's journals. They described repositories that Bragbor had been commissioned to build for a group of witches and wizards.
What do you mean, repositories?
Large, magically fortified receptacles crafted from goblin metal. Ranrock recruited others to help me locate the repositories. We were to search anywhere that was connected to 5 names mentioned in the journals: Rackham, Fitzgerald, Bakar, Morganach, and Rookwood.
Rookwood Castle.
That is where we began our search.
Why does Ranrock care so much about these repositories?
He cares about what they contain. For centuries, wizards have refused to share their magical knowledge with goblins. Your kind will not even let us carry wands. Thus, many goblins, myself included, have spent our lives mistrusting wizard kind. Ranrock was convinced that the repositories contained a magical power that wizards wanted to keep for themselves. He is determined to take it for goblin kind. But
Here comes my friend Amit. Probably best to continue our conversation later.
Greetings, Lord Cock. It is an honor, sir.
You speak gobbledygook.
Oh, Bagalio.
Enough. Please do not tell me that was meant to be gobbledygook.
Yes. Perhaps my pronunciation was a bit off. I imagine certain dialects differ.
Pronunciation is not the issue. I barely recognize that as language. I trust you can read gobbledygook better than you can speak it?
I can, Sir Lodgok.
Just Lodgok. Thankfully, we only need someone who can decipher written plans, since I cannot join you in the mine.
What written plans? And why can't you come with us?
We need some idea of what Ranrock knows or is plotting. I suspect a careless loyalist may have left plans behind. And I'm unable to join you because I cannot risk anyone reporting my presence to Ranrock. All you need to do is not be seen, either by the eye above the enchanted door or a loitering loyalist.
Amit and I can do this.
I will await your return. I shall see you soon.
I find we get a bit pissed off with it. We're like, why can't you fucking do this?
The door is looking at us.
Clever.
But mind's eye.
Books so rarely prepare one for reality. A real goblin mine. It's even grander than I had expected. I cannot believe I met a goblin.
Let's just learn what we can and get out.
Look at this lift. Impressive workmanship for so simple a device.
Impressive workmanship aside, it's the only way forward.
I still can't believe we're inside a real mine.
Accio. Revelio.
Can't be asked.
I've read about mines like this. Seeing one is something else altogether.
We need to be careful. As I'm sure you know, not all goblins are as friendly as Lodgok, to say the least.
I'm famished.
Where have those plans gone? I had schematics in my hand a moment ago.
Watch your step round here.
Petricus totalis. We're being watched by a door. Revelio. Accio. Petrificus totalis.
That was a little more than I'm used to.
I'll get us through here safely, Amit. You have my word. We won't get through as long as we can be seen by that eye. Confringo. Revenue.
I feel like a character from one of the adventure books I read during the summer holidays.
Let's take a look around, Amit. See if we can find any plans.
Let me know if you see any more plans or schematics. We can't return to Lodgok empty-headed.
Revelio. Petrificus totalis. Revelio.
Fascinating to see gobbledygook written in a goblin hand. The flourishes are extraordinary. There must be more notes around here. What could they be building?
Revelio.
If I'm translating this correctly, and I think that I am, they're building something rather large. But
Revelio.
I will get to the bottom of what they've been building down here.
Goblins will finally rule over wizards.
Petrificus totalis.
Hello? What's that? Who's there?
Petrificus totalis.
I know it! Aha! There you are!
Oh, this really is too much.
Stay close. I've handled much worse.
Another boiler. This place is more complex than I had expected.
Revelio. Confringo.
I wonder if the boiler powers the
Revelio.
lever. I suspect it must.
Revelio.
The boiler activated that handle. See it?
Oh, that one. No problem.
Accio.
Devil's snare. Nasty stuff if we're not careful.
Not an entanglement we need right now.
Lumos.
Revelio. Lumos.
Lumos!
Turn up, Lumos.
Yes, of course.
Revelio.
Oi! Pass that fire whiskey over here. You have to learn to share.
Kill that guy first, I think. Let's see, so... There.
Petrificus totalis.
Who is it?
Revelio.
Wizard Cat
Petrificus totalis.
coming to us once the war is over.
Accio.
How many of them are there?
That should be the last of them, Amit. Confringo. Revelio.
This is not good. They're building enormous drills, bigger than this mine could contain.
Let's get out of here and tell Lodgok what we found.
Building fucking mines? We've seen them. I think we've done this fucking game in... not in order. Oops.
Revelio. Accio.
Hold on for time.
I need a moment to catch my breath. This was more than I bargained for.
I'm glad you came with me, Amit. Now that we know what they're up to, we can get out of here. Aloha, Mora.
There's a lot. I've got a lot. Wow.
Revelio. We're almost out of here, Amit. Look, the lift.
A welcome sight indeed. Can we please talk about what just happened?
That wasn't so bad, was it?
It was. It really was. I'm afraid I've had enough adventure for one day. For a lifetime, perhaps.
Thank you, Amit. I couldn't have done it without you. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to have a word with Lodgok.
Understood? I'll leave you to it. Your goblin secrets are safe with me, but I get to write the book about this escapade someday. Without further ado, adieu.
They're building enormous drills. We found their plans. Ranrock must be searching for the repositories.
I fear you are correct. Other than Rookwood Castle, however, I do not know where else he plans to search.
I've been wondering about something else you said before we entered the mine.
Yes?
If you share Ranrock's views, then why are you helping me?
I expected Rookwood Castle to be deserted when I arrived to begin my search. So was surprised to find a witch there who had set up a sort of improvised research site. She was studying something so intently that she almost didn't notice me. When she looked up, I thought she would react with fear or disdain. But instead she did something that I will never forget. Without a moment's hesitation, she smiled and asked me to sit with her. She told me that she was a researcher and showed me a small, oddly shaped container with a strange symbol on it. She was certain it was made of goblin metal, but was unable to open it. She wanted to work together.
Miriam.
Yes. But how did you...
Professor Fig's wife. He told me of her research, and I know of the container.
Ah. The reverence with which she talked of goblins and their intelligence and skill, it caught me entirely off guard. I'd never been treated with such respect by a witch or wizard. So, to my surprise, I let her study the container if she would allow me to search the castle on my own. We parted ways, with her promising to share what she'd learned. More of Ranrock's recruits arrived, and we began to dig, eventually locating the first repository. Ranrock was thrilled with our discovery, but furious when I told him about Miriam. Berated me for trusting a witch, and I heard she'd been killed.
You think Ranrock murdered her?
I don't want to believe it, but I don't know. After that, something shifted in me. I had seen how the power from the repositories was transforming Ranrock, transforming all of them. I could no longer remain a part of it.
Thank you, Lodgok, for telling me this.
I tell you all of this so that you understand what is at stake. Ranrock never found all of Bragbor's journals, but the ones he did find suggest that Bragbor at some point built a repository far greater in size than the one beneath Rookwood Castle. What you've discovered here today worries me deeply. If Ranrock learns of the location of that repository, I fear we shall be destined for a great war. I will find out what Ranrock knows. Watch for my owl.
Shit. Shit's going down. Yeah, we're gonna meet with Sebastian, aren't we? After he was fucking blasted us with heresy and blah 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 blah.
I have to complete the next trial.
I believe my next broom upgrade to be even more impressive than the last. Come by Spintwitches as soon as you can.
Looks rather dark in there.
You're here. Good.
Sebastian, that relic you mentioned.
Don't think I've forgotten about your goblin friend. I haven't. But I needed to tell you what I've learned. I believe one of Slytherin's students stumbled upon the relic during an assignment to study sarcophagi in this catacomb. From what I read in a report by the student, they weren't permitted to take it with them, so I must assume it's still here. As I mentioned earlier, this relic grants its holder the power to reverse dark magic curses. If it's in this catacomb, I have to find it. For Anne. I need to see her.
I'm ready to explore the catacomb. Perhaps we can visit Anne when we've finished.
Perfect. By the way, Ominous has been asking about you. You didn't tell him what we were doing, did you?
I didn't. I promise.
Good. Ominous would be livid if he knew what we were about to do. I'll be interested to compare what lies inside to what I've read about this catacomb.
Alright, let's have a look. This will be the last quest.
I'm sure that foul smell is the scent of success. Try not to lose your nerve just yet.
Ah, more spiders.
Confringo!
No.
At least now we know we're not alone in here.
Perhaps that was it. And the rest of the tomb will be insect-free.
Yeah, spiders aren't insects.
Don't start.
Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Confringo.
Oh, come on.
I know.
Hang on. I'm being stupid.
Leviosa.
Finding a chest in an inconspicuous loft. Brilliant.
Confringo.
Confringo.
Protego. Confringo. Revelio. Depulso.
Watch your step. I nearly slipped there.
Confringo. Confringo. Protego. Confringo.
We've read the world, all this
Revelio.
grass. It no longer feels like a tomb. I've read about catacombs that
Confringo.
expansion efforts and ran into problems. Often cave-ins.
And then we're abandoned.
Exactly. We'll be fine, though. Now this is the sort of great room I want to be buried in.
Surrounded by grandeur.
Grandeur and then some. Even an altar with a pile of bones. Lovely.
Bone outside a sarcophagus. Seems odd. There's something here by the altar. Accio. Depulso! Accio! Wingardium Leviosa! Accio!
What did you find?
Wingardium Leviosa! Accio! Revelio!
Did you hear that?
Accio! We're in a tomb. I assume eerie sounds come with the territory. Revelio! Accio! Wingardium Leviosa! Accio! Revelio! Accio!
That's
Wingardium
a bone
Leviosa!
rattle.
Accio! Looks like part of a student's diary. It mentions plans to return for the relic and conjuring barricades using bones.
Of course. The student's summary referenced a space beyond the Great Room, which means this can't be a dead end. I have the report if you want to have a look. Let's divide and conquer. You work on sorting out the bone barricades. I'll look around and see what we missed. Hold on to that diary entry. There may be more to it.
It does mention something else. It says their next assignment was learning the Imperius Curse.
Really? Interesting. We need to focus on moving beyond this room. But let me think for a moment.
Of course. I'll start to search for those barricades.
Brilliant. There's more to this than even I imagined.
We've made it this far, but clearly we have more to do. Accio! Revelio! Accio! I need to find a safe way across. Confringo! Accio! Revelio! Depulso! Revelio! Accio! Confringo! Accio!
Anything else to do with light? Apart from reached.
Lumos. Accio. Lumo. Accio. Lumos. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Rickety bone bridge complete. Revelio.
That's not the way.
Accio. Revelio. Accio.
Before we trudge on further, I've just realized something. The student's diary mentions the Imperious Curse. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to need it here. It's an unforgivable, but useful when you're outnumbered. Places the victim completely under the caster's control. So, if you'd like to learn Imperio, I can teach you.
I prefer not to learn Imperious Curse. Yes, I like to learn Imperious Curse. How do you know the Imperious?
Where did you learn the Imperious Curse?
I taught myself. Don't tell Ominous that I've told you. It's not exactly something I can brag about, but it may come in handy. I think you ought to know it.
Shouldn't I know more about what the curse entails?
Remember the blasting curse? Same idea, except when it comes to unforgivable curses, your intention has to be clear. You have to mean it.
It's probably wise to know the spell.
I couldn't agree more. A spell that could save your life shouldn't be unforgivable. You have a lot at stake. You have an ability that evidently no one's seen for centuries. Focus your wand movement. It's not an easy spell to master. Here we go. Something troubling ahead. Be on your guard.
So let's put it to the test.
Imperial.
Confringo. Levioso.
Confringo.
Descendo.
Confringo. Depulso.
Expired.
Confringo. Imperial.
Confringo.
Good times.
Protego.
Confringo. Levioso.
Imperio.
Descendo. Levioso.
I just do all the work while we just sit around
Accio.
and chat.
Confringo.
Confringo. Descendo.
Confringo.
Confringo.
Depulso.
Levioso.
Accio.
Confringo.
Never knew spiders could make such a mess.
Bit dramatic, isn't it? Confringo. Accio. Revelio. Revelio. Confringo.
This is bloody huge, isn't it? Plastic. Oh, yeah.
Revelio.
Running short on time, so let's get this done.
This catacomb has suffered decay. Just as...
Alright, just to be sure, let's get rid of some items. We've got loads of trinkets apparently. So I just need two more spells now.
Described.
I doubt anyone's been here in quite some time.
Avada Kedavra. Going to learn the killing curse. That's going to be a good time.
Revelio.
Another barricade. Considering how well you did on the last one, this should be a cinch.
Accio. How gracious of you.
I try.
Combination goes on.
That worked. Keep going.
Okay, so we just need combinations. So
Revelio.
I need blah and blah.
Accio.
This one, blah.
Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Revelio.
Oh yes, I need.
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio.
You are head and shoulders above these bones. Nicely done. I see why Slytherin's student was so entranced with this place.
Bingo!
Imperial.
Help.
Tango! Springo! Confringo!
Capulso.
Leviosa!
Capulso. Imperial.
Sendo! Leviosa!
Confringo.
Confringo!
Accio.
Confringo! Bindo!
Imperial. Confringo. Confringo. For a moment there, I thought that'd never end. Confringo.
Dead end. Lovely.
Revelio.
All that for nothing.
Hold on. Don't give up yet. Accio. Revelio. Sebastian, the relic. Look.
Could it be?
The note and rendition of the relic. It matches. This must be where the student left the relic.
I can't believe it. After all this, it lines up. We've really found it.
What do you suppose is meant by the dark sacrifice required to realize the relic's potential?
I have no idea. But we're here for the relic.
The note advises to leave the relic alone.
I assure you, we were meant to find this. For Anne's sake. I'm taking it. Let's get to Feldcroft. I must keep this relic secret. Especially from my uncle.
Oh god.
Ominous.
Ominous is here.
Ominous. The sounds we kept hearing. It was you.
You gave me no choice. I had to follow you. Sebastian, please, leave the relic alone. We can find another way to help Anne.
I'm sorry, Ominous, but I'm taking it.
No, you're not. If you won't put it back, then I will.
Hold on, both of you. Sebastian, please, take a step back.
Fine, but Ominous knows I won't step back from a fight.
Can't believe this.
How much did you hear?
Everything. I was glad to hear you tell Sebastian to leave the relic. We need to stand together. Convince Sebastian this is wrong.
And if nothing will change his mind?
Something has to. I need your help.
You're right. This seems far riskier than Sebastian realizes.
Good. We're agreed. We don't allow him to leave here with the relic.
I do think we should talk to him, but I fear we won't stop him from taking the relic.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting we negotiate. We allow Sebastian to leave with the relic under one condition. After this, no more.
I feel that's what we agreed to in the scriptorium. I'm being taken for a fool.
You're not, Ominous. This may be the only way to keep your friendship intact. Let's trust him to know what's best.
Fine. If I trust him on this, I'm trusting you too. The dark arts seem harmless until it's too late. Go then. Leave with the relic. I'll not say a word more. I hope I don't regret this.
Sebastian, we're ready.
What is it? I haven't changed my mind.
Ominous has. Let's go.
What? Ominous?
I'll explain on the way. Come on.
Well, what happened back there?
Ominous and I found a compromise.
Ominous simply needs a moment with you and he'll change his mind. Is that it?
I told him we ought to give you this chance, that the relic is too important to ignore.
There has to be more to it than that. Tell me.
We agreed on what was needed, Sebastian. You have my word.
I never wanted to keep all this from Ominous. He just doesn't understand. And I didn't want to worry him all over again. As we were leaving, Ominous wouldn't even acknowledge me. That's not like him.
He was troubled, Sebastian. Even though we agreed to it all, it's been a lot to take in.
I thought he understood. He knew we couldn't give up. All of this is too important. For Anne.
Alright. You know what? We're gonna do this. Don't tell me. To walk it. God damn it. Why do I have to walk? Wait, what the fuck has happened? Where's the fire?
When we get to Feldcroft, I'd rather Anne not know what had to be done to get this relic. She thinks like Ominous. It'd only upset her. Oh no, this isn't good.
What is it?
Smoke, over there, by the hamlet. Feldcroft's in trouble. They're under attack.
Let's hurry.
Not quite.
Let's help, fine.
Stay back! Get out of the way!
There's no way.
Confringo!
Confringo!
We have to fight.
Potato! Keep out of
Levioso! Confringo!
Got it!
They're closing in!
That's the best you can do!
Confringo!
You'll not win here!
Be careful! Mine!
We've got them! We'll make them Confringo!
That was
Confringo! Accio!
I'll get away with that.
Confringo!
Almost.
Potato!
Defender!
I feel as though you're not even trying. Stay back! Keep out the way!
There's nowhere to go.
Expulsion!
Keep out of short reach!
Got it!
Imperial!
I shall avenge your death! Confringo! That's
You'll not win here! Confringo!
Be careful! Mine!
We've got them! They'll retreat! We'll make them retreat!
Stop provoking them!
I'm handling it.
Nice try.
Accio!
Confringo! Stay back!
Confringo!
Expulsion!
We have to fight!
Keep out of short reach! Confringo!
Boy! What have you done?
Saved my sister!
With an unforgivable curse. From that damned book, no doubt. Your father would be ashamed. You've gone too far, Sebastian. Stay away from her. From all of us.
What did my uncle expect me to do? The Imperious curse saved Anne's life. That goblin was going to kill her.
There was little time to react, but it was an unforgivable curse.
I acted in the moment. That's all. I shall make my uncle see reason. He cannot banish me from my own home, from my sister.
It might be best to let him calm down a while. May I speak to him? Perhaps I can help to ease the tension a bit.
You may be right. Very well. Probably best if I get away from here for a while. I'll head back to Hogwarts.
What was he thinking?
Pardon me, Mr. Sallow.
What Sebastian did was inexcusable. You cannot possibly be about to defend him.
Sebastian and I have encountered Ranrock's loyalists before. That goblin would have killed Anne.
This family does not resort to using dark magic, even against our enemies. What Sebastian did cannot be undone. That you are defending Sebastian's behavior at all tells me everything I need to know. You are as guilty as he is. Sebastian is to come nowhere near Feldcroft, nowhere near Anne. Unforgivable curses are so named for a reason. If I hear that either of you continues down this path, if either of you uses dark magic, I will notify the headmaster immediately. Why, Sebastian?
We should speak with Mr. Bickle's friends. I believe I can sneak away without drawing my mother's eye. Meet me near Hogsmeade, and we will divide.
Accio!
I think I know how and where to approach the centaurs about protecting the Snidgets. Meet me in the Forbidden Forest.
But we are going to call that a day, I believe. Thank you so much for tuning into today's stream. As I said earlier, if you haven't follow me yet, make sure you do at Supreme King 1177, so you can always make sure when I'll be next streaming, it will be notified onto your phone or tablet or laptop, so you'll always know when I'm next on. But thank you so much for tuning into today's stream. This is Supreme King 1177 out. You lot take care, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.